The Atlanta Falcons are actively seeking to bolster their cornerback depth, and recent reports suggest a potential trade for Jaylen Ramsay could be a prime target. The team's acknowledged need in the secondary, coupled with their recent pursuit of another top-tier cornerback, signals a proactive approach to strengthening their defense. The impetus for the speculation stems from a report by ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, indicating that the Falcons were serious contenders for Jaire Alexander before he ultimately signed with the Baltimore Ravens. Fowler even suggested that Atlanta might have offered Alexander more money, underscoring general manager Terry Fontenot's willingness to be aggressive in addressing defensive needs. With Alexander off the market, the focus logically shifts to other high-caliber options, and Jaylen Ramsay emerges as a compelling candidate. Several factors make a Ramsey to Atlanta trade plausible and beneficial. Fills a clear need. While A.J. Terrell and Mike Hughes are the current starters, the Falcons are perceived to be one injury away from a significant depth crisis at cornerback. Acquiring Ramsey will provide an immediate upgrade to the starting lineup. Existing relationship. Head coach Raheem Morris and Jalen Ramsay share a strong connection from their time together with the Los Angeles Rams. This pre-existing rapport could facilitate a smooth transition and integration for Ramsey. Improved depth and flexibility. Adding Ramsey would allow Mike Hughes to move into a quality backup role, significantly strengthening the overall depth chart. It would also provide defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich with more versatile and formidable options for his defensive schemes. However, a potential trade is not without its hurdles. Trade compensation. The Falcons have somewhat depleted draft capital for the upcoming year due to trades made during the recent draft. This means they would likely need to get creative with their trade package to acquire a player of Ramsey's stature from the Miami Dolphins. Ramsey's preference. A recent report indicated Ramsey's desire to remain on the West Coast. However, he does not possess a no-trade clause, meaning the Dolphins ultimately control his destination if they decide to trade him. Successfully executing a trade for Jaylen Ramsay would provide the Falcons with a formidable defensive unit, blending proven veteran talent with emerging young stars. This is a combination the team has lacked for some time and would significantly enhance their prospects for the upcoming season. The front office's demonstrated willingness to pursue top talent suggests they are committed to making impactful moves. Do you think the Falcons should aggressively pursue a trade for Jaylen Ramsay? And what would be a realistic trade package? Share your thoughts below. The Falcons' near signing of Jaire Alexander is a strong indicator of their intent to upgrade a cornerback, making a potential move for Jaylen Ramsay a development worth watching closely. A recent bold prediction from Brad Gagnon of Bleacher Report has ignited discussion about a potential trade involving Atlanta Falcons quarterback Kirk Cousins, suggesting he could be moved to the New York Jets by the NFL's 2025 trade deadline. This scenario hinges on several factors, including the emergence of rookie Michael Penix Jr. in Atlanta and a potential need at quarterback for a contending team like the Jets, where former Minnesota Vikings general manager Rick Spielman now serves as a senior football advisor. Gagnon's projection posits that if Penix Jr. solidifies himself as the Falcons' starting quarterback by midseason, the team might be more open to offers for Cousins. He specifically points to the Jets as a landing spot, speculating that they might look to move on from Justin Fields by November if he underperforms, especially given their available cap space. The existing relationship between Cousins and Spielman, who signed Cousins to a fully guaranteed $84 million contract in Minnesota in 2018, is seen as a significant factor that could facilitate such a deal. However, the article presenting the prediction offers a more nuanced perspective. It argues that the Falcons aren't necessarily waiting for Penix Jr. to be established to consider trading Cousins. Rather, they would likely entertain the right offer for the veteran quarterback even now, implying Penix Jr. is already viewed as the future. There's also skepticism about the Jets simultaneously giving up on Fields and remaining playoff contenders, which will be the prerequisite for them to trade significant assets for another expensive veteran quarterback. Fields carries a $22 million cap hit for 2026, and while the Jets might draft a quarterback if he struggles throughout 2025, it seems less likely they'd trade for Cousins in that specific scenario. The consensus leans toward a more conventional trigger for a Cousins trade, a significant injury to a starting quarterback on a contending team. Such a situation could create the desperation needed for a team to meet the Falcons' asking price for Cousins, whether that occurs during the summer or closer to the trade deadline. While Gagnon's prediction of Cousins to the Jets is labeled bold, the connection to Rick Spielman does make them a plausible suitor if a need arises, particularly through injury. Spielman's history with Cousins and his understanding of his capabilities could make the Jets more inclined than other teams to pursue him. Ultimately, while the idea of Cousins reuniting with a familiar executive is intriguing, the most realistic path for a trade remains contingent on unforeseen circumstances, primarily a serious injury elsewhere in the league that creates an urgent demand for a proven veteran quarterback. What are your thoughts on a potential Kirk Cousins trade? Do you see the Jets as a realistic destination, or is an injury elsewhere the more likely catalyst? Let us know in the comments. The future of Kirk Cousins in Atlanta remains a topic of speculation, with the possibility of a trade largely dependent on the evolving quarterback landscape across the NFL and, most critically, potential injuries to key players on contending teams.